All right, thanks, guys. We are 14-3-1 in our last 18 college football plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. Link for that site is in the description section below. All right, we got ourselves a nice little slate of college football top 25 action for college week 6. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start off with UCF taking on Cincinnati, and that is an 8 o'clock start this Friday night. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, UCF's minus 4.5, total at 60. So a 1-point move toward UCF and movement downward on the total. Central Florida open 3.5 up to 4.5. Total open 60 and a hook down to 60 even. 70% of the consensus is leaning toward UCF. 74% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cincinnati's plus 170 on the money line. Now, the Bearcats are 3-1 on the year, 3-1 against the spread. Meanwhile, UCF on the other side, 4-1 straight up and 3-2 against the number. This is a pretty short shot here. I think UCF should get the job done, should bounce back after a devastating loss to Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take UCF minus 4 in the over 60 points in that game. All right, next matchup, we have Iowa taking on Michigan, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff in Michigan this Saturday. The Wolverines are 4.5, total 48. Now, we haven't seen much movement on the spread. Pretty good two-way action there. We did see a little bit of movement upward on the total. So once again, Michigan open and remains minus 4.5, total open 46 and a hook up to 48. 58% of the consensus is leaning toward Iowa. 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Hawkeyes are plus 180 on the money line. And I was undefeated on the year. They're perfect 4-0 straight up, 2-2 against the spread. Meanwhile, Michigan on the other side, they're 3-1 on the year, but they failed to cover in 3 out of those 4 games. They're not looking crisp. Almost lost to Army. They did get blown out by Wisconsin. Give me the Iowa Hawkeyes plus 5 after buying the hook and the under 48 in that game. Next matchup, Kent State, Wisconsin, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff there. Wisconsin's minus 37, total 57.5. We did see a 1-point move downward on the total. So once again, Wisconsin's minus 37, total open 58.5, down to 57 and a hook. 76% are leaning Wisconsin, 62% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Badgers are 4-0 on the year, 4-0 on the year, 3-1 against the spread. Kent State on the other side, 2-2 straight up, 2-2 against the number. I'm going to lean, just because they covered against the mighty Bowling Green Falcons, I don't know what their name is, and Arizona State. Give me Kent State plus 37, keeping this one close just barely in the over 57.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and once again welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for college football week 6, top 25 edition. But before we go ahead and dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly once again remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page. Now we are 14-3-1 on the year in our college football package. That's an incredible mark. It's the best I've ever done in college football in the past 4 years. So I'm going to make no mistake about it. I'm not perfect. This is certainly something that I don't want to say is surprising or alarming, but it is something that certainly is not the status quo for me. I'm normally around 60%. This is an incredible record at 14-3-1 in my last 18 college football plays on that site. We also have a bunch of different memberships and packages as well. They begin at just $1.99 per month. Now, we have a package called the Daily Double, which you get access to 2 plays a day. You get access to the daily best play and, of course, the daily double play. So you get 2 total plays. Now, that Daily Double membership, we're hitting 82% in our last 18. So like I said, guys, I'm not a whiz. There's other packages that I'm not doing so well in. But these 2 have been remarkable. That's the Daily Double and the College Football Package. And you can find all that information in the link below. That's patreon.com/Brock Page. Even better, there's plenty of free content there as well, including my current record. So if you want to see how I'm doing, it's right on the homepage. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. The link for that site is in the description section below. All right, let's go ahead and dive back into some more lines of personal leans. It all starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Oklahoma Sooners taking on Kansas, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff there. The Sooners are minus 35, total 67. 72% are leaning Oklahoma, 75% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Sooners are 4-0 on the year, 3-0. 4-0 on the year, 3-1 against the number. Kansas on the other side, 2-3 straight up, 1-4 ATS. Good spot for Oklahoma backers here. I'm going to lean Sooners minus 35 and the over 67 in that game. Next matchup, Oklahoma State taking on Texas Tech. 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff there. Oklahoma State's minus 10, total 63.5. Saw a 3-point move toward Oklahoma State and movement downward on the total. The Cowboys open minus 7, up to minus 10. Total open 65.5, down to 63 and a hook. 71% are leaning Oklahoma State. 63% shaded toward the under. Right now, Texas Tech is plus 315 on the money line. The Raiders are 2-2 on the year and just 1-3 against the number. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State on the other side, they're 4-1 straight up and a perfect 5-0 against the spread. I think this is a great spot for Oklahoma State backers. Give me Oklahoma State minus 10 and the over 63.5 in that game. Next matchup, Purdue, Penn State, 12 o'clock, Happy Valley. The Nittany Lions are minus 28, total 55.5. So a 1.5 point move downward on the total in this one. Once again, Penn State's minus 28, total open 57, down to 55 and a hook. 55% of the consensus is leaning toward the Nittany Lions. Right now, the Boilermakers of Purdue are plus 2,500 on the money line. Now, Purdue's just 1-3 on the year, failing to cover in 3 out of those 4 games. Penn State on the other side, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the number. They played nothing but cupcakes. Even the tough matchup with Pitt, I wouldn't consider them a top-tier team. Having said that, though, Penn State does a good job covering against these cupcakes. So give me the Nittany Lions. Give me the Nittany Lions. Give me Penn State minus 28 and the over 55.5 in that game. Next matchup, Utah State taking on LSU. 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff there. The Tigers are 27.5, total 69 and a hook. Saw a 4-point move toward LSU and movement upward on the total. The Tigers opened 23.5 up to 27 and a hook. 68 was the total. That moved up to 69.5. So once again, LSU minus 27 and a hook, total 69.5. 64% are leaning LSU, 65% shaded toward the over. Right now, Utah State is plus 1750 on the money line. Utah State is 3-1 on the year, 3-1 against the number. Meanwhile, LSU on the other side, 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. Give me the Tigers minus 27.5 and the over 69 and a hook in that game. Next matchup, Auburn, Florida, 3:30, the Swamp. Auburn's minus 3, total 46.5. Not a whole lot of movement when it comes to the spread. We did see movement downward on the total. Auburn's minus 3, total open 47, down to 46.5. 61% are leaning Auburn, 54% leaning toward the over. Right now, Florida's plus 135 on the money line. Both teams are a perfect 5-0 straight up on the year. Now, Florida's just 2-3 against the number. Meanwhile, Auburn 5-0 against the spread themselves. I'm going to lean Auburn Tigers minus 3 and the under 46.5 in that game. Next matchup, Bowling Green, Notre Dame. That's my second Bowling Green reference of the afternoon. Bowling Green, Notre Dame, 3:30. Notre Dame. The Irish, minus 45.5. Irish minus 45. Total 60.5. Now, we did see movement in this one. Notre Dame open 46, down to minus 45. Total open 61, down to 60 and a hook. 70% are leaning Notre Dame. 87% shaded toward the over. Right now, Bowling Green, 1-3 on the year, 1-3 ATS. Notre Dame, 3-1 on the year, 3-1 ATS. Give me the Fighting Irish laying the massive number. I'm going to take Notre Dame minus 45 and the under 60 and a hook. Next game, Texas went. Let's try that again. Texas, West Virginia. 3:30 Eastern kickoff in West Virginia. Texas, minus 11, total 59, 69% leaning toward the Longhorns, 67% shaded toward the under. Right now, West Virginia's plus 340 on the money. West Virginia plus 340 on the money line. Both teams 3-1 straight up on the year. Both teams 2-2 against the spread. Pretty evenly matched there. I'm going to take the home team plus the double digits. Give me West Virginia plus 11 and the under 59 in that game. Next matchup, Georgia, Tennessee, 7 o'clock, Tennessee. Georgia's minus 25, total 51.5. So movement downward on the total in this one. Once again, the Bulldogs are minus 25, total open 54, down to 51 and a hook. 68% are leaning Georgia, 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Vols are plus 1,500 on the money line. The Volunteers are just 1-3 on the year, 1-3 against the spread. Georgia 4-0 on the year, 2-2 against the spread. Give me Georgia minus 25 and the under 51 and a hook. Next game, Michigan State, Ohio State, 7:30 Ohio Stadium. The Buckeyes are minus 20.5, total 49 and a hook. So movement upward on the total in this one. Once again, Ohio State minus 20.5, total open 48, up to 49 and a hook. 61% are leaning Buckeyes, 82% shaded toward the over. Michigan State's 4-1 on the year, 3-2 ATS. Ohio State 5-0 on the year, 4-1 ATS. Give me the Buckeyes minus 20 and a hook and the over 49.5 in that game. Next game, Tulsa, SMU, 7:30 kickoff there. SMU minus 13, total 62. So movement downward on the spread and the total. SMU open 14, down to minus 13. Total open 62.5, down to 62. 71% are leaning SMU, 80% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Tulsa's 2-2 on the year, 2-2 ATS. SMU 5-0 on the year, 5-0 ATS. Give me SMU minus 13 and the under 62 in that game. Next matchup, Cal, Oregon, 8 o'clock kickoff. Oregon's minus 17.5, total 46. 2-point move upward on the spread, 1-point move downward on the total. Oregon open 15.5, up to 17.5. Total open 47, down to 46. 57% are leaning Cal, 75% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Golden Bears are plus 725 on the money line. Cal's 4-1 on the year, 2-3 ATS. Oregon on the other side, 3-1 on the year, 2-2 ATS. Give me Cal plus 18 after buying the hook and the under 46 in that game. Next matchup, Boise State, UNLV, 10:30. I think it's, Boyd Stadium? Dodd Stadium? I think it's Boyd Stadium. Anyway, Boise State, minus 23.5, total 55 and a hook. Movement upward on the spread, downward on the total. The Broncos open 21, up to 23.5. Total open 58, down to 55 and a hook. 77% are leaning Boise State. And at the moment, the Rebels are plus 1335 on the money line. UNLV, 1-3 on the year, 2-2 ATS. Boise State 4-0 on the year, 3-1 ATS. Give me Boise State minus 23.5 in the under 55 and a hook. Next and final game for the show, it is going to be Washington, Stanford, 10:30 Stanford. Washington's 14.5, total at 50. Movement downward on the spread, upward on the total. Washington open 15, down to 14.5. Total open 49, up to 50. 52% on Washington, 62% on the under. Stanford's plus 500 on the money line. Stanford 2-3 on the year, 1-4 ATS. Washington 4-1 on the year, 4-1 ATS. Give me Washington minus 14 after buying the half a point in the over 50 in that game. All right, time to slide into our quick pick recap brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. We got Washington Huskies minus 14 over 50. Boise State Broncos minus 23.5 under 55 and a hook. Cal Golden Bears plus 18 under 46. SMU minus 13 under 62. Ohio State minus 20.5 over 49 and a hook. Georgia Bulldogs minus 25 under 51.5. West Virginia plus 11 under 59. Notre Dame minus 45 under 60 and a hook. Auburn minus 3 under 45.5. LSU minus 27.5 over 69 and a hook. Penn State minus 28 over 55.5. Oklahoma State minus 10 over 63 and a hook. Oklahoma Sooners minus 35 over 67. Kent State plus 37. That's Kent State. Kent State plus 37 over 57 and a hook. Iowa Hawkeyes plus 5 under 48. And last but certainly not least, we have the UCF Knights minus 4 and the over 60 in that matchup there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 14-3-1 in our last 18 college football plays on that site. That's in our college football tier. And that's just $14.99 per month. 14-3-1, and it only costs you $15 to go 14-3-1 on the year. Once again, 14-3-1 in our last 18 college football plays. You can check out my record at patreon.com/BrockPage. It's right on the homepage. We're also hitting 82% in our last 18 daily double package plays as well. And like I said, plenty of free content there as well. Patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. Most importantly, I got to thank you for watching me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Best of luck to you. Happy week 6 to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.